Kept you waiting, huh?
Hello everyone, Seskinator11 here, and this is my Resident Evil 4 Professional Difficulty No Damage OSP New Game Run. And we have now reached part numero 4. So we're heading towards the barn where we're going to fight Chief Mendez. And this fight, in order to do this fight, you really need to use knife tactics, otherwise you're going to run completely out of ammo. So here's the quick time event, skipping on, and then first what Mendez is going to do is he's going to come towards me. I run, I go for the shotgun shells just in case. I wait a little bit so that I can bait his one of his melee moves, but see how the quick time events pop up on the screen and I don't need to do anything? That's only because I'm on top of the ledge and Mendez was attacking the floor. So I'm going for the Incendiary Grenade. That grenade is very important for this run. Be sure to pick it up if you don't have any grenades at this point. And then this sets the stage for the knife technique. Good old knife strats. So I'm getting a little damage off of him with the handgun, which really doesn't do much, but it does a little something. So as soon as he starts to swing at you, this is what we want actually. We want him to do that little shimmy with his legs, moving to the side as he's hitting the platform to the top. Because when he does that, that opens up the, that gives us a little window in order to use the knife on him. Kind of like that. But there's a better representation here, so just bear with me. Sometimes he's not going to do what we want. See, sometimes he goes down like that. He retracts to his normal state after hitting the platform. And it's taken me a little bit to do this, but I think if you wait just long enough before he starts attacking, you'll get iframes on the ladder like that. And he's still not doing it. Wow. I don't know what the heck I was thinking now. Of course this was the successful one. This is it right now. This is exactly what we want. We want him to do that so that way you can get at least 3 knife slashes on him. So now here we go. I'm waiting for him. He's starting to swing. He's doing the little shimmy to the side. That's exactly what we want. If he ever gets hit like that and he flinches, that's where you want to do a quick turn and go up the ladder right away, because he will immediately recover afterwards and go for a grab. But because I got too afraid, I ran away and went up the other ladder. So just in case shit hits the fan, you can do something like that during this strategy. So yeah, there he goes. He's doing the shimmy again. He's a little bit too far away. You want him so that way he's right up against the platform. And that allows you to jump down, knife him, turn around, and then jump right, or start climbing right back up again. But he's doing the shimmy just like we like. I do the quick turn, go back up the ladder. This strategy requires a lot of patience, but what's nice is that it works. It works relatively well. And it saves you a ton of ammo, which is what we need on an OSP run. Yeah, folks, here we go. I'm going for the knife, going back up again. And as you can watch, this looks easy, but again, with all games, it's all about that feel. He just did a slam attack there, but luckily the iframes being on the ladder saved me. So yeah, he's not quite doing the shimmy like we want. We want to wait long enough so that way he starts moving. And he retracts again. See, I'm not getting the rhythm right now for whatever reason. So now here he goes. Now he's doing the shimmy. That's perfect. And of course he's a little bit too far away, so I whiff the knife. Of course this is the successful run. And he didn't do the shimmy. I'm starting to think now that the shimmy is a little bit RNG. As I'm watching this footage. There he goes. He's doing the shimmy. 1, 2, 3. There he goes. He did the flinch, but luckily it was on the 3rd slash, so we turned around and went back up the ladder. Doing the shimmy again. Perfect. 3 slashes. and we go right back up the ladder again. You want to repeat this for the entirety of the first phase, folks, because again, you want to save all the ammo that you need coming up for the castle, because you will need it for the castle. And what's really nice about phase 2 is that there's a really cheeky strategy, and I again take no credit for this, nor do I take credit for this knife strategy, because it's very well known at this point. The game has been out for 15 years already. However, in phase 2, the strategy that I saw someone else do on YouTube made my jaw drop. Like, I was astounded by how this worked, even on professional difficulty. Because on professional difficulty, if you're fighting Mendez head-on, he is a tank. Like, especially without upgrading your weapons, he is an absolute tank. And a lot of times people will just resort to the rocket launcher to, to kill him very quickly. But of course we didn't have that luxury because there were no rocket launchers to pick up in the environment prior to this. So now he's going for the shimmy again. I'm going for the knife slash. And we're going back up the ladder. We've been doing this for, I want to say, a good 4 minutes or so, maybe 5 minutes almost. So again, it requires a lot of patience, but it's great to be able to save ammo. There's the flinch. I go right back up the ladder again. He should be, there we go. I was gonna say, he should be pretty close now. So now what I do, immediately, I equip the grenade, I throw the grenade now while he's hanging there, that knocks him off. And I didn't know how well this strategy coming up was gonna work, so instead, I put a shotgun shell into his head right there, and now I position myself for the strategy. This is it, guys, get ready. So, as soon as he swings down, you're going to throw that incendiary grenade right in between him and the barrel, and boom. That's it. That's phase 2. Miraculous, isn't it? And this is professional difficulty. I learned this from a YouTuber that I was saying, and I was absolutely astounded. Absolutely astounded by that strategy. I didn't know something like that existed, even on professional difficulty. It was crazy. But yeah, I was happy to showcase that strategy on my run because hopefully someone can learn from it and use it on their own run one day. But yeah, pick up the gold. Now I'm just running around making sure I didn't miss any ammo. There's some handgun ammo there. There's some TMP there, which is not going to do us much good on this run. I'm going up the ladder, which I believe I already picked up everything up here because in the very beginning of the fight I ran around. But it doesn't hurt to double check again. And what you want to be very careful of when you're coming out of this barn is that the fire on the right side of you when you're approaching the opening, that fire can damage you. Which, there is no checkpoint right after you beat Mendez, unfortunately. The checkpoint is before this boss fight, so you don't want to complete this fight and then have to redo it all over again. So that fire on the right will damage you, so be very careful. See, look at me being extra cautious. I'm approaching this carefully until you get the prompt to jump out, and then hit it to jump out. And you're safe. And there's Ashley again. Capcom did a really nice job of having all the bosses be fought just with Leon. You know, playing this run, it made me realize that how balanced this game is yet again. And one of the greatest features of it is you don't have to bring Ashley with you to boss fights. You know, you don't fight Mendez with Ashley there. You don't fight Salazar with Ashley there. You don't fight the right hand of Salazar, Vertigo, with Ashley there. You don't fight, let's see, U3 with Ashley there, where you have to run through the containers before they fall. And you don't have to fight Sadler with Ashley there because she stays behind when you go up on the elevator to get to the top of the oil rig. And I think that's just amazing because, as you guys know, Ashley can be a bit of a pain during these playthroughs and in this game in general. because sometimes she doesn't do what you want. And, you know, an enemy can sneak up on you, get a cheeky hit from behind, or just grab her, and that could make you exasperated. But yeah, folks, that is Mendez. He's done now. I'm saving my game. And we're moving forward. We just now have one section of enemies before we get to enter the castle, which is the next difficulty spike in the game. And you'll see it too if you're doing a run like this. You will definitely see the difficulty spike because the enemies have more HP. They will require more knife slashes. And your weapons, your unupgraded weapons, will slowly become obsolete. But yeah, here's the balance I was talking about. See, you didn't have to repeat that section where the enemies would be riding in the other elevators towards you. So it's really nice of Capcom to do that. Back when games were made very well, especially a game like this. Alright, so put the eye on. And that'll get us through this gate. Yeah, folks, as I mentioned before, I'm really excited to build a PC. And I did get the notification that my motherboard will be arriving on Thursday. As I said before, I'm very excited for that. So this kind of shocked me a little bit. It only requires one shot to the face of that guy who's driving the truck. And I really thought that it would require more bullets, but again, these are the features of a wonderfully balanced game. So go ahead and knife that guy on the ground. He goes down pretty quickly. And we are making our way forward towards the castle. What you're going to see here is enemies are going to spawn directly behind us. And because I want to conserve ammo, I just ignore them and keep running forward. I don't believe there's anything of use apart from the crates to my left over there that holds maybe some more ammo, but I don't risk it and I just run forward. And that's the end of Chapter 2-3, and now we're entering the castle. I'm wondering if for Resident Evil 4 Remake, when they do make it eventually, if they're going to take out the island and both the castle and the island from the game. They absolutely delete it because, I mean, after what they did with Remake, where they removed a ton of locations and shortened it a ton, I wouldn't be surprised if they just made the entire game the village. And there's no island, there's no lab. Maybe they take out Sadler and make Chief Mendez the final fight. Who knows? But it's going to be atrocious. I'm just calling it right now. I know it's going to be absolutely horrible when they do that. But yeah, here's some downtime, folks. I'm just kind of looking around, looking for ammo before we enter the next section. Which the next section can be a bit tricky if you're not familiar with it and you don't really know what you're doing. However, with enough practice, guys, you can get it. I believe I got this on my third attempt or so. And there's a snake in the crate right there. So we go for the second slash right after. And what's in this treasure chest? Ah, some more gold. But yeah, folks, as I said before, I'm not really used to making commentaries this long. My previous projects were not nearly this long, and this is one of the longest games that I'm commentating. So yeah, we are moving forward. I'm going to drop a quick save after collecting all the goodies around this area. And yeah, folks, it's just really interesting. And it's quite amazing how many people there are who will probably accuse this of being a run that's not real. Or if random people come in to watch this, they'll think that it's not legitimate because it's not a single segment run. You know, there's no reloading of checkpoints, which is completely fine. I don't care about people who think it's illegitimate. I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that post false things. But anyway, enough talk about that. Let's talk about tactics here. So you're going to see that the structure to my right got destroyed by the flaming rock, by the flaming boulder, and I'm going to wait one more time for all the catapults to fire again before moving forward. And I think I wait one more time because I'm a little bit paranoid, because I did get killed on one of my attempts here, which was very sad because it was the first time I was running out into the open. So yeah, we're making our way up. I'm going to tell Ashley to wait behind here. Or maybe I don't. My memory is shot, guys. I apologize. Maybe I don't tell Ashley to wait right here. Because what I do is I use this ledge here to try to fire at the catapult guys. Because you can see over the ledge over there, you can see the red barrel. Another feature of a very balanced game, because they put red barrels next to the guys by the catapults to be able to down them in one hit. But yeah, this is me trying to line up my shot, moving the camera accordingly, and there's the red dot right on the barrel. He's now down. He's not going to be firing at us anymore. So now I'm looking around. I'm going to see if there's any way I can fire at any more guys. But I don't think there is. And I need to make my way to that little shelter over there to the right, where you can go inside. And that'll be some good cover for me to be able to hit the other catapults. But you can see here I'm playing it very cautiously, because this is a no damage run after all, and I don't want to be hit by a stupid flaming boulder. So now we're making our way through. Decided to go for it. There's a dude in there that I completely forgot of. I nearly ran into him. Luckily he was pointing at us and telling us to, you know, morir es vivir. So he gets up. I put him down again. His compadre out there got killed by one of the boulders. Ashley gets grabbed, but do not fear, because she will not take damage if she is grabbed like that. The only thing you need to worry about is being able to hit the guy before he takes her to one of the doors. Otherwise, it's a restart. I'm kind of hoping now one of the catapults hits him, but it doesn't, unfortunately. So I have to use precious ammo to kill this guy. Very unfortunate, but life goes on. Now he's throwing his scythe at me, but luckily I down him just before he throws it at me. So now I'm going for that red barrel over there. I'm waving my joystick around to see if I can align the aim and get the red dot on the barrel. And there it is. Very nicely balanced game, isn't it? I will not stop saying good things about this game. I love it so much. So I think there's another guy coming towards us. There he is. You know, a Palpatine-esque figurine coming towards us. Luckily he doesn't have electric fingers, so the force lightning, and he won't be able to electrocute us, taking damage. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine them throwing like Emperor Palpatine features onto one of these guys? How hilarious would that be? It just wouldn't fit. I mean, unless they somehow incorporate some sort of bioorganism. And maybe that, whatever organism is inside their fingers will generate lightning and be able to kill somebody. But thus is the imagination. Alright, there's another catapult to my left up there. And I'm telling Ashley to wait in this shack over here because I don't want her to take damage. Because again, if I take damage or Ashley takes damage, it's a restart. So, and I apologize for how slow this is, folks. I'm playing it very cautiously. See, there's a dude up there, the red dude who yelled at us in the very beginning, and there's a wonderful red barrel right next to him. And boom, he's down. So now I believe there's one more catapult, and what distinguishes the catapult is that I believe the torch next to it is still lit. So if that torch next to it is still lit, it means that the catapult is still active. I could be wrong, I could be saying false information, but I know that one is going to fire at me if I go for it. Because the idea of this is you need to raise the cannon and be able to fire the cannon at the big door in front of us right there, the big red door. And once you do that, the path will be cleared and you'll be able to progress forward. So here I go, I'm finally mustering up the courage to move forward because for whatever reason I'm just playing it too safe. See, look at me, I'm even going back, I'm terrified. Because I don't want to redo this checkpoint again and have to kill all these guys again. So yeah, there he goes, the dude is firing at me again. I go into this shack over here with the opening. And luckily from here, he can't hit me. Leon will flinch, but he won't take damage, luckily. So this becomes a little bit tricky, because you can see the guy is over there, but getting your aimer on him is very difficult. Because of course the realistic sway on the bullet, on the handgun aim, is just too realistic, and you can't shoot him properly. It's a little bit annoying, but it's doable. So I'm almost blind firing and losing all my ammo because I'm trying to hit this guy. And that's me aligning the aim on the torch. And I thought maybe for some odd reason if I took out the torch, I'd be able to kill the guy, but as you can see that was stupid and you have to shoot the guy instead. But luckily he only takes one bullet. He took about 1 or 2 bullets just then and he was down. If this was Resident Evil 4 remake in the future, that guy would take probably 10 bullets on a run like this, and then you would die. It's as simple as that. So yeah, I get the cannon up safely, and I fire it at the door, and we're able to move forward. And enter the castle successfully. And that's the very first area of the castle, which they kind of throw things at you immediately once you enter a new area. I mean, just like with the village they throw you into that gauntlet of enemies with the chainsaw guy, and now in the castle you get catapults firing flaming rocks at you. So now I'm moving forward. I can't buy anything from the merchant, which is very sad, but I think I go ahead and sell things. So that's exactly what we're going to do and get some more good old currency for our revenge run later on with the hand cannon. Which on stream the other day I was able to complete the 5 stars for all 4 levels for Leon, Ada, and Krauser. And all I have left now are to beat him with Hunk, which Hunk's moves in the Mercenaries are ridiculous, and I really wish they made Resident Evil 2 Remake have Hunk as powerful as they did in the Mercenaries for RE4. Because he has this wonderful ability to chain neck breakers. Whenever you shoot an enemy and they get stunned, you can neck break them, even for the chainsaw women. And it is the most entertaining thing ever. And I believe on the PS2 version, the old control scheme, you had to use, I believe, R1 and either X or square to fire your weapon. So when you're firing at a guy, you're already pressing X. So all you had to do was let go of R1 and then immediately go into the neck breaker move. And Hunk would go ahead and neck break them. And you could do that so quickly and chain neck breakers that your score would immediately rack up. And you could get easily over 100,000 points on that. It was hilarious. Like, I remember distinctly back in the day, you know, before cell phones were a thing. And my friend, again, this is Omni Griffin again I'm talking about. But I remember distinctly in high school, my friend was playing that game one weeknight. He got his homework, you know, done hella early, and he was playing Mercenaries at home. And he calls me, I believe it was like the early evening, maybe about 7 o'clock. And he tells me, he's like, hey, I just got 140,000 on the Mercenaries with Hunk. And he couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, holy shit, man, that's ridiculous. And he's like, the neck breaker move is OP, dude. Or something along the lines of that. You know, we were just, oh, it was so funny. But yeah, it's funny how I remember that. I don't know why. And look at that. Holy cow, he almost grabbed me there. And that would have been damage taken. Which is hilarious. Since Shinji Mikami made a game like this, that's definitely present in The Evil Within. Because in one of my fail videos that I uploaded on Evil Within, it was during the infamous Chapter 6 section where you're defending Joseph as he opens the doors. And one of the guys that I set on fire with a match randomly just gets up and he grabs me and kills me. And on Akumu mode, one hit means you're dead. So that's what that reminds me of. For whatever reason, they took that feature and moved it to Evil Within. So I think that's hilarious. You know, despite clearly taking a guy's head off, he can still grab you. So you got to be very careful of that. But yeah, look at how much damage these guys take. And I know that's the red guy, so he's he has higher HP. But your guns are slowly doing less and less damage. So yeah, there he goes with the grab again, but this makes more sense because his parasite head is formed. So I make my way back up here with Ashley, and I'm going to wait for him to come back up before I fire at him again with the shotgun. And this took a few attempts, folks, because this part is a little tricky, just for the room management and making sure people aren't behind you. So he takes a few shotgun shells to the dome, but even with an upgraded shotgun, it still does fairly decent damage, especially up close. So now we're go ahead and putting the swords in, and that opens the door for us, and we're able to progress forward. We're still doing fairly well on ammo right now. You'll see me later on, especially in the island sections with all the gauntlets. I run out of ammo so fast because the enemies, the HP, they have so much freaking HP. But yeah, when we get to that, I'll talk about that a bit more. So yeah, I'm just checking around, making sure I didn't forget any more ammo, because ammo is precious on a run like this. And now we made it to the outdoor section. Sorry for that abrupt cut there. I tried to make the cut a little bit more smooth. My goal here, folks, is to make sure I edit out all the pause screens, because I don't want you guys to be able to sit through all the pause screens, because that can be kind of annoying. At first I was like, maybe I can just shorten the pause screens, because that's what I did on my Inferno run for 3 make. But this game actually allows you to almost do it frame by frame to edit out the pause screens. It's actually very nice. And hopefully with my editing software in the future, I'll be a much better editor and have more access to different features and allow myself to make the transitions a bit more smoother. So, but yeah, we'll see, folks. Once I build my PC, I'll have to play around with it and get familiar with it, because I'll be a huge PC noob, that's for sure. So now the guys are going for Ashley. I left her out there because I didn't want to deal with her going through these sections, but You don't have to worry, folks, if she gets grabbed. That is no damage taken when she's grabbed, luckily. All you have to worry about is her being taken through the door. So I go ahead and fire at this guy. That was a little bit close for comfort. And then I slash at him. Be careful not to slash Ashley. She will take damage. Look at her. She is right next to me. I was looking over to make sure she was far enough away, because she can be obnoxious like that. And now we're progressing onward. There's an archer outside the door to my left up there. So through this window, you want to be able to shoot him and make sure he does not shoot you. So here's me trying to find him. There he is right there on top of the archway. And I'm trying to get the reticle on him, and there he goes. Going for as many headshots as I can to get the most damage off of him. But yeah, a quick bow to the head can really end your run, especially a no damage run. The archers in this game are probably one of the most frustrating parts, especially in the water room coming up, which the water room I put as the next part, because I want to be sure people are able to access that part right away. Because that is one of the areas where I manipulate the checkpoint insanely. I manipulate it a lot. I'm very transparent about that, and I don't regret it, folks. Because what I did is I took out both archers, and then I went back to save, so that way they wouldn't show up again. And it turns the water room almost into easy mode, and you're able to manage the room fairly fast and be able to manipulate the enemies fairly quickly. So yeah. And what's interesting is with the dynamic difficulty change, if the game sees you struggle a lot, it'll remove those two archers. But what was unclear is, and I was talking about this with Sarah from 17 too, is we were talking about the difficulty adjustment on professional. And he was telling me that for his version of the game, and this could be true for the PS3 port or Xbox port, when you die so much to the archers, the game takes them out. And I think it was removed on his run. Again, don't quote me on that. I don't want to say misinformation. I don't want to spread rumors or something like that, you know. But in my game, maybe it's because I kept reloading the checkpoint whenever I got hit, and I didn't wait to death, that the archers stayed for me on professional. But again, folks, I mean, feel free to clarify in the comments, you know, if I'm wrong or if you know more information, because that's always interesting to me to hear what people have to say. So, because I know there's people out there who know so much more about this game than I do, and I'm by no means a professional, like I said. So yeah, here's me doing a little bit of item management. The game was kind enough to put a red barrel in the room, so you're able to manage the enemies that rush in fairly well. And now we got a clean run to the main area of the castle, where you have to put in the stone tablets to move forward. And yeah, this is a very cool open room. And you hear Salazar laughing in the distance, which is a fun feature. You know, that's definitely a charming feature to that. But yeah, folks, another mistake is I use a bullet to get the treasure up there. Don't waste ammunition. Don't pick up the treasures. There's no need to. This is not a run where you're gonna sell things to the merchant and then buy the most expensive weapon in the game or upgrade or do anything of that nature. So save your ammunition. I only shot that treasure because I'm very used to going for all the treasures in this game. And of course there's a ton that I forget. There's a lot of them that I forget, but it's just so ingrained in my memory and in my muscle memory to go for the treasures. But don't do it for a run like this. You just waste all your precious ammunition, even if it's one bullet. Every bullet counts. in this run. So now, folks, we're going to be coming up on the first encounter with the enemy in the prison that has the Wolverine claws. And I forgot exactly what these enemies are called specifically. I could easily Google it and find out the name later on, so I don't look like so much of a dumbass when I'm doing these commentaries. But yeah, we're just going to call him Wolverine enemy from now on. And before we head down there, I'm going to be picking up the enemies, and that was me whiffing the knife like a true beast. And yeah, be sure to always pick up the gold behind the Saddler pictures in the castle. One of the cool mechanics of this game is that for all the pictures inside the castle, one of the cool secrets is that if you examine the pictures, they always have gold behind them. So if you're upgrading your weapons, if you need extra gold, remove those pictures everywhere you find them, because you'll be rewarded. So yeah, I pick up the prison key on the photo there, on the wonderful painting, and we make our way back to open up the door. And you might see a weird cut here because the checkpoint is right after you open this door. So it might be a bit jarring because Ashley is not next to me right now, and then now she is. Turns out she can teleport, folks. She's an X-Men. But yeah, our friend over there is going to break out of his chains. I go for the bell to the right, and he goes for my gunshot noise instead, which can happen. Again, this game is a masterpiece, but it's not perfect, folks. In a perfect game, he would go for the bell instead of running towards me. So now he's going for the bell, and now we're going to run up to him with the shotgun and inflict hopefully the most damage we can with the base weapons we have. But yeah, you can see, folks, with the rifle, this fight is a joke. You know, you could probably get a few shots off on his back while he goes for the bell. But with this OSP run, it makes it a little more interesting. And look at that there. For whatever reason, he was stuck in that animation of swiping his blades around back and forth, that he didn't go for the stab into the wall to get stuck. Sometimes this game will do that, for whatever reason. So be aware. And now this is me using the pillar in the middle to kite him around and be able to get some cheeky shots off of his back. But sometimes it doesn't work as planned. So again, folks, be careful if you're doing a run like this. So now his back is exposed. I go for the shotgun shot. I want to get a little closer to him, but also be careful. And for whatever reason, he sniffed me there, and he unleashed his claws, but still doesn't come after me, which is very interesting. It's almost like the detection is not being seen through the pillar. So I go for the shotgun shell there. The shotgun blast to the back. And he runs for me, and whoa, look at that there. He would have almost gotten me there if I wasn't quick enough. Go for the shotgun to the back again. And he's mad, he's very angry. He wants to come after me and gut me. But he's remaining relatively calm. So, yeah, I don't know why I went for the handgun there. I was kind of losing my mind, I guess. Go for the shotgun blast to the back. I'm pretty far away. If you feel a bit more confident than I do, hopefully you can get a little closer to him. But I do not, because I'm a scaredy cat. So now I'm just kiting him around the pillar here, trying to get another opening. And luckily what's nice is that he doesn't go for Ashley. So you can definitely use that to your advantage. And boom, he's down. That took I feel like 10 shotgun blasts to the back. Maybe even more. But yeah, he takes a good amount. And what was funny, folks, is during one of my attempts of this, I actually tried to go for the lever and run out of the prison, but the game doesn't let you. The door closes in front of you, so it won't allow you to. So don't try what I did, because you'll be very upset. So now I go for the save, so that way we get a checkpoint in case I or Ashley get hit by one of the guys coming up, because more enemies will spawn in this area. So we drop a quick save to manipulate the checkpoint. And we're moving forward again, approaching the water room. Now these enemies spawned in, they're being relatively calm, and now they've been aggroed. So I'm waiting to get the cheeky candle, and it only hits one guy, unfortunately. The other guy was hanging back. He was too smart, I guess. Now I get him with the knife. And he goes down. But look at how many knife slashes that was. Wasn't that a shit ton compared to the villagers? That was a whole crap load of knife slashes there. But I left Ashley back in the save room, so that way she doesn't get damaged unnecessarily. And for whatever reason, I thought the guy with the dynamite stays there in between the archers, but he runs away. Which I don't think I've ever seen before in my life, playing this game, or in any other runs I've seen. But yeah, I go for the cheeky suplex. I love the suplexes in this game. I love the melee moves. They work so well. And the dude with the dynamite is just hiding out back there. And I know from previous experience that there's another guy in there as well. So I'm kind of checking calmly. And there he is. He's just kind of walking around. The game, for whatever reason, seemed to be derping me here. But I'm using it to my advantage. So it works out pretty well. Because watch what happens. There he goes. And the added bonus is he ended up killing the other guy standing by the wall over there. So now we're home free to get to the water room. And if you're wondering, Sesk, are you going to drop a save before going into that water room? I'm going to answer, you bet your ass I am. Because it's the water room. And yeah, as we're pretty much coming up on the end of part 4, folks, of this run. What you're going to see in the next video, you're going to see a lot of checkpoint manipulation. And part of me felt a little guilty for doing that, but the other parts I didn't. Because the room was so difficult with the base upgrades on the weapons, where they're unupgraded and they haven't been improved with their firepower or clip size, or you know, I don't have any rifles to be able to snipe the archers easily. So I'll leave you guys for the next part to see what I do exactly, and hopefully you'll get a good laugh out of my checkpoint manipulation. But anyway, folks, you take care now, and thank you for watching.